Warning, this show contains adult language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to another edition of Up and Ended. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for both people and planet through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. Today is episode 221, and it's my personal health hacks. I want to share with you guys how some of the things I've used for myself and for my family, how they've worked out. There's a lot of natural remedies out there, and they actually do work. I've got some hacks, and let's get into them. First of all, no background noise. Yes, I'm not driving. We're doing a nice, good audio quality show today. I want to start with my first one is ozonized water. And ozonized water is basically, I had my teeth worked on by Vinegar, who was Dr. Vinegar, who was in the show, A Beautiful Truth, I think it was, or Beautiful something. I don't know. He's supposed to be some famous fucking dentist. I paid him a lot of money. But he fixed my teeth and he introduced me to the Ozonizer. And basically what it is, it's like one of those oxygenator things like you with a stone on the end, like you put inside of a fish tank to keep the water oxygenated for fish. So what happens, this goes in there for about 15 minutes. You want to get some hot water and put it inside of a glass mason jar. This ozonizing machine, they sell them specifically for dental for human beings though. What it'll do is it'll go in there and it'll oxygenate that water. And the reason you want to use oxygenated water in your mouth is that it kills all the anaerobic, the bad bacteria. Now there's good bacteria, for those of you who don't know, that live in your mouth and in your body, on your skin, everywhere. So what you want to actually do is you want to take and use a water pick as well. And a water pick is basically something that's like a pump that shoots out this streaming water out of a tiny little straw where you get inside your teeth. So coupled with the Ozonizer, it jets water in your gums and shoots a lot of the food out. Now this is really disgusting for a lot of people who don't use it all the time. What you're going to find is this stench that just starts coming out of your mouth from rotten food that's been stuck in your teeth for a long time. So get one, Ozonizer. They're expensive, but you know what? So is fixing your mouth. As another one note I don't have in here is that a hack I do is I go to the dentist and get a cleaning every quarterly. I go 4 times a year. I kind of went it up to about 3, but I looked at, it cost me about $125 for a tooth cleaning. And compared to the amount of work I've had to do on my mouth, like having caps put on, which was a couple $1,000s, buying an Ozonizer and a water pick and paying for somebody to scrape all the stuff off my teeth pays in the long run 10 times fold. So that's my hack for your mouth. That come out weird. Sorry about that. Wow, we just got all weird. None of these are in order either. They're kind of spread out. I didn't really have time to kind of organize them, so I'm just going to spit them out as I have them here. This next one is raw milk. And my daughter, believe it or not, this is raw cow's milk. Now you can do goat's milk as well, but I heard on the internet, and that's where I get a lot of my stuff from, my ideas, but of course I have to try them out first, as raw milk actually helps with asthma. My daughter would wheeze. When we took off, like I'd chase her at the park, we could exercise, you could hear her wheezing. Giving her this raw milk, like a medicine, I just give her like 2 shots or a shot of raw milk every day. You can find these things at places like Sprouts and basically more natural. You're not going to find them at the major grocery stores. You got to go to the little health markets like we have here at Sprouts Farmers Market and stuff like that, and a few others that I think are all just local places here. So get yourself some raw milk and try it. I mean, and also I'd like to say that when raw milk starts to turn a little bit, there's actually people that like the flavor of it. I personally don't like the flavor. It actually smells to where it's sour, and it's weird because if you're open to it, you're going to smell it and it's going to smell sour, but it's not going to smell like rotten, like, oh my God, I got to get away from here. I drank it in its sour stage, a lot of it, just to see, and I did not get sick. So if you're worried about getting sick, don't. I think you'll be fine. Moving on here too, I'm going to say that raw dairy products such as raw cheese, raw milks, for those of you who are lactose intolerant, no, you're not. You're homogenized. I think, what is it? Homogenized intolerant? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. But whatever they do to milk, that's what you're non-tolerant to. That's why you get gas. So notice Go buy yourself some raw milk or raw cheese, anything kind of raw dairy products. Eat those instead of the regular pasteurized milk and stuff like that. And notice the difference. I will fart up a fucking storm. You guys won't even, I'll vaporize this camera right now. But if I eat the raw stuff, I'm perfectly fine. Raw ice cream and stuff like that. So give it a chance. And your stacking functions, we like to share on the show. It'll give you some sort of something in there that'll help you with asthma. I heard it helps with allergies too. That's what I heard when I was researching. People who had to get, who were sneezing a lot and have a bad reaction, skin reaction. The milk actually help them out. Apple cider vinegar and honey and lemon is my next one. My daughter, which I thought was ringworm, ended up being just a normal fungus that people get. What the doctor said is if there's a red ring and there's a white spot in the middle, that's ringworm. She just started to develop these rashes and stuff on her body, and they were not exactly good rings. They were just kind of off. But basically what I did is I sprayed her skin with apple cider vinegar, which is another trick I've got for you guys, but I'll just go ahead and say it. That's for athlete's foot. You guys got athlete's foot. For guys, you got jock itch, or you get the athlete's foot, spray some apple cider vinegar, bam, that shit will, the stinging and everything will be gone. It'll actually clear up in a matter of like a day. But eating it, the honey and lemon with the apple cider vinegar, it's very hard to get your kids to eat it. But if you dilute it like 50-50 with water, add some honey and lemon in there, that'll get them to drink it. There's a lot of good stuff, cleansing abilities of lemon, a lot of good vitamins and minerals in honey, and combining them all together, stacking functions, is one of the best ways to go in my opinion. Now, this one's kind of funny. I learned this one years ago. This is a doctor's secret, and it's not very healthy. It's not very good. I don't propose that people do this all the time, but if you found yourself and you were recreationally pouring recreational alcohol down your throat a little too much than what you should have, and you end up very, very fucked up, try a vitamin B12, 1,000 milligrams. In fact, if it's really bad, try 2. I guarantee you're not going to die. You're going to piss like E.T., but a B12 will take your hangover away from you, and you will be ready to go. Let's just put it that way. I've got people I shared this with only every once in a while, a few people, and they were like, dude, give me more. What do I do? Where do I get this stuff from? So B12 for hangovers, yeah. I'd say my next one is, I've got on my list here, is block breathing. And I like the block breathing. A lot of athletes have said that their performance, especially fighters, they were able to up their performance by 15 to 20% just by doing exercises. So it's good for that, good for thinking, I think. But for those of you who don't know what block breathing is, I want you to imagine when you start having an anxiety attack. If those of you know what they are and they're really bad, you really know what I'm talking about when you can't even focus on anything. If you get to this point, or somebody, or you know somebody who's going through this, find a square block, a picture frame. And what you're going to do is you're going to start from one end to the other, and you're just going to count to 4 in the space that you get, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. That's the time that you start breathing in, and it forces someone to count. And when they get to that corner, they're going to hold their breath, and they're going to hold it for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. And then they're going to exhale 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. And then they're going to hold the breath. So they're breathing in, and they're holding it. They're breathing out and holding it. And this forces them to be counting, to be getting oxygen. You can do one that will to help you go to bed. Do 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 8 seconds out, 4 seconds hold, and there's just so many different variations that you could do, and you don't even need to go anywhere. But that's the way to get yourself relaxed, lower blood pressure, stop anxiety, and just to relax in general. So block breathing, really good. Cardio and Crocs. What? Crocs shoes, for those of you, let me just pull it up on camera here. Crocs shoes, for those of you watching. I've got these Crocs on is one of my things. When you go walking or running, these things are very, very cushiony. You look like a fucking dork, but I'm telling you guys, your joints and everything work so much better. Feel so much better instead of just running on with regular shoes on, or I used to walk with flip-flops or barefoot. If you got sore joints and stuff like that, consider the Crocs. What happens when you wear a pair of Crocs with socks and you're actually running or just going for long walks in them. The socks actually polish the entire inside because there's constant friction there. So when you put your Crocs on barefoot, it just feels like silk. So yeah, get yourself, do some cardio, Crocs and cardio. Let's get the hair out of our throat. Next one I got for you guys is, I know a lot of you are trying to probably stop eating sugar yourself, and you're probably most trying to get your kids to stop eating sugar. If you come to this part, best thing to do is remove all sugar from your house. Don't even have it in there. I buy my barbecue Saturdays. For those of you who follow me know what that is. I buy a bunch of popsicles and I stick them in the, like ice cream popsicles. I put them in my freezer and it's got a lock, and that only comes out on Saturdays. Although we were naughty this weekend. One thing you can do for yourself is raw honey for sugar cravings. One thing I like to do is get almonds, you know, and any kind of nuts will do, but almonds for some reason taste to me the best. But get yourself some raw honey. Raw honey is more important. There's a lot of different crap that they put in honey nowadays, like sugars and all kinds. I forget there's this hack on how to find out what fake honey is, but I don't got enough time to deal with that. But get yourself, make sure it's raw, local honey. It's going to help with your allergies. It's going to give you vitamins and stuff, but it'll satisfy that sugar tooth. Just dip an almond in there, put it in your mouth, and let your kids eat this. And you can eat like a tablespoon, eat like 2 tablespoons. You can't get past that. So it satisfies that sugar, gives your kids and yourself some vitamins and minerals, and helps out with things, and it'll stave it off. So always keep some honey in there. Honey has a lot of different uses. My next one is just a really simple one, is eating by intuition. I know I've talked a lot about many of these things before, but I figured I'd condense them all into one place. When you guys go into the grocery store, just use your intuition. Just look out there and look what sounds good right now. Of course, don't do cheeseburgers and pizzas and stuff like that. Go into the meat sections, go into the fresh vegetables, produce, and nuts and things like that. And look at dairy products if that's what you're craving. Be open and look at what sounds good and just pick those things. And what you're going to find if you just relax into this is that you'll binge eat something. You know, I did mushrooms for a while, and I think I'm feeling another one coming on. You'll binge eat it, and then you'll get completely bored of it. And your body, if you're paying attention, your body actually got something from it. You feel like satisfied. You know, like you're full of whatever was in that plant, whether it's meat, vegetables, or fruits or whatever. And then you move on to the next one. So try intuition, eating by intuition. My next one is lion's mane mushrooms. And I recommend that you guys go to Fungi Perfecti. What is it? I can't remember. It's Paul Stamets' brand. I can't remember the name. Just type in Paul Stamets, and now it's bothering me. I got to find my bottle right here. But Paul Stamets sells a bottle of this stuff here. And what Lion's Mane does is it has all the active ingredients. It's called Host Defense Mushrooms. This is exactly what I take for those of you watching. This supports memory and nerve support, right? So what I found in my special needs kid is that her brain, so it has everything that psychedelics do except for psychedelics. So it repairs the sheaths of the neurological connections inside your brain and helps them to fire off and actually feeds them. There's a lot of good evidence they showed that were people who were scoring very low on tests had to take the lion's mane mushroom for about 30 days. And once the mushrooms got inside the person's body, they actually started performing mentally a heck of a lot better. They did an experiment where they took it away, and the people's grades, their scores on their testings went down again. They did it a few times. So you can see the study with rats and all kinds of where it brought joy back in their minds. And I've seen where they were more playful. I've seen some really good actions with my daughter, her cognitive abilities and stuff like that. We've been giving her this for about a year and a half. Well, me and the monkeys in my head. I've been taking it, and I've noticed I've actually had a little bit better success on remembering things as well. I still am getting to that fucking age when you walk into the living room, you know, and you're like, what did I come in here for? What the fuck did I come in here for? I can't remember. And you go back outside, and you don't know why you're outside. Lion's mane mushroom, folks. Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams. I recommend that you guys get the powdered. It's all it's called is the ascorbic acid. Now you can buy a big old giant pound of this for pennies on the dollar. What I do is I get myself a measuring spoon. Usually it comes with a tiny spoon so that you know what 1,000 milligrams is. It's just this little dot. It looks like cocaine almost. I get myself like a half a tablespoon measuring spoon. What I'll do is I took those little ones out that gave me 1,000 milligrams, and I just fill up a teaspoon so I know every teaspoon does 5,000 milligrams. Put that in a water bottle, put some water in it, shake it all up. I actually use these recycled water bottles that have like 5 different chambers in them. And I can tell that every chamber is 5,000. That's what I try to take roughly about every day is 5,000 milligrams. Now, if I get the flu or I get a cold, which is very, very rare, I will take 1,000 milligrams every 2 to 5 minutes. And I've healed myself from poison oak with it. I've healed myself out of a cold, a flu. There was one flu that I could not get rid of. It didn't really help. But what this does is gives your body, boosts your immune system to really fight off these infections. And in fact, where I got this from is, he doesn't know I exist, but Andrew Saul, they were actually healing people of coronavirus in China using intravenously IV. I think it was 20,000 milligrams of instantaneous, I believe it was instantaneous, vitamin C, and these people were snapping out of it within like a day or 2 days. So yeah, really good stuff. Vitamin C, it ain't going to kill you. You'll take it to where you get I recommend that you do your research first, but basically you take it every 2 minutes to 5 minutes, 1,000 milligrams. Just keep taking it. What's going to happen is either your symptoms will go away of the cold or the flu, or they call it bowel tolerance, and that's exactly what it means. And I've experienced it where you take it and you got to go take a poop. So either way, whether you stop when your symptoms disappear, or if you get the bowel intolerance where you got to go to the bathroom, that's the sign that you should stop as well. But do vitamin C. It's good for everything. Also helps with asthma. You guys can look into that yourself. Apple cider vinegar is a thing I had here for bone spurs. Now I had one on my hand. I've got it on my palm, and I wrapped up a rag with duct tape on it and put the apple cider vinegar. It ate the skin on my hand, and it stopped the pain from the bone spur. So those of you guys don't know, I think you get calcium buildup on your bones. Now I had one on the side of my foot, and what I did is I got myself a paper towel, and I soaked it in some apple cider vinegar, stuck it in my shoe, and then it was right up where my pinky toe was, and I just wedged my foot in there and kept it soaking all day long. Did that for about 3-4 days, or a week, I think, and the bone spur is completely dissolved and left. I figured I would share that one. I've got some crazy ones. I just wasn't able to write them all down in here. Raw juice instead of a salad is next. You guys, if you're hustling like me, you just ain't got the time. I've gone out and bought myself salads, and it's happening right now. I got a salad rotting in my fridge, about half of a salad. You know, when you buy organic and stuff and baby greens, sometimes they're gone in like 2-3 days. I'll give you guys a hack. Put a dry paper towel, about 3 paper towels on top of those big, $5 boxes. Put about 2 paper towels in there before you store it in the fridge, and that'll actually get you about a week's worth there. But if you don't want to go through all that hassle of eating salads and stuff, you got to chop it up. I come home, I'm tired. Just make yourself a bunch of juices. For those of you who don't know, 1 cup of juice is equivalent to a huge giant plate of salad, and you guys can throw everything in there. I'll tell you a hack of what I do. I'll throw in green apples, celery, onion, turmeric. I'll throw in some ginger, garlic, all kinds of different things in there, oranges, and then I'll throw in some carrots. I'll throw in some apples, like I said, green apples. What is the thing I'm looking at? Cucumbers, celery, tomatoes. So you would look at what the heck, oranges and tomatoes, and yeah, put it all in there. It'll turn into this swampy juice. Add about a half a lemon into, say, like a quart-sized jar like I've got here. And then add yourself some Himalayan sea salt. And what that'll do, mix that in, and it'll actually give it like this tangy flavor. And what you're getting is fruits, vegetables, everything all in one. And be careful though, drink an entire mason jar, a quart like this, you'll end up running to the bathroom and shitting yourself. But yeah, if you don't have time to eat salad, and I think it's very healthy for all of us to get raw vegetables and fruits into our diets. And if you're hustling like me, that's the way you're going to get it done. It's easily stored, and you'll be doing just fine. The next one, you know what? I got to talk about this one too. I don't have it in my notes here of how Himalayan pink sea salt has helped lower blood pressure. I take a little bit of a rocks every day I can remember. Put a little rock under your tongue. And I know what you're thinking, that salt causes blood pressure. No, it's the other way around. It's when your body doesn't have enough salt, but good salt. You need sea salt or pink Himalayan sea salt. Again, I don't want to get crazy on here. It's not going to kill anybody. But even if you don't have high blood pressure, that salt has like 80 minerals or something in it. And it comes from the sea. And pure ocean water has something like 96 or 98 vitamins and minerals. And these are all minerals that the body needs. So you get your vitamins, a lot of it, through the salt. The salt will actually help things to penetrate your cells, such as, damn, I'm getting a hair in my throat. Such as, because they say calcium is king, right? And when you get enough salt and stuff in your body and you get that enough calcium, everything else will ride into your cells. I don't got time to explain this. You could look it up for yourself. Very interesting, fascinating stuff. Next is CBD for anxiety. We're overdoing time here. CBD for anxiety. You guys, oh my goodness, for sleep and anxiety. Now, I eat the gummies and I give the gummies to my kid. We're at 9,000 milligrams. I eat like 2 of them before I go to bed now. It really relaxes and really helps me out. There's CBD cigarettes. Now, for those of you guys who get like crazy anxiety, as I was talking about earlier, where you have a panic attack, that's when you want to get the cigarettes or roll like a joint. They sell it now. It doesn't get you high, so don't worry about it and make you even more paranoid. But yeah, I smoke these things and it will instantly, within 5 minutes, it gets into your system. Smoke the whole cigarette, the whole CBD cigarette or the joint, whatever you want to call it, and you will immediately start to feel a hell of a lot better. I haven't had one in a long time. I think I had one last year, and I just popped. I've had a pack of CBD cigarettes I've had in here for like 2 years, and I think or 3 years, and I think I'm down to like 1. But yeah, it's definitely relaxing. Last one here before I leave is just not caring what people fucking think of you. That's a health hack. I think that the stress and everything that a lot of people go through is completely unnecessary. I think that worrying about all this, what people are doing, what they're not doing, just takes up so much of your time and your day when you could be doing so many other different things. You could be improving your life in so many different ways. And I think that the bullying and the shit like that, it should only bother you if it's true. If it's true, then do something about it and change it. Make it to where people can't talk shit about that anymore. But really, when it comes down to it, you should not be worrying what other people think. And I think for myself, that's got to be one of the biggest, healthiest, happiest things I've ever done in my life. And I feel like I'm a little more privileged than you guys with a special needs kid, because she teaches me we get a license to do whatever we want. We can act crazy. We got a license to be crazy. Well, that's the show, guys. I went on long enough. So, yeah. If you guys like this sort of thing, it's Up and In It. You guys can upandinitshow@gmail.com. Let me know how I'm doing for you guys. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a review if I brought you guys any kind of entertainment here or value. It's Up and In It. Check it out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and anywhere where I can do the podcast. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Hume it up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it, my friends.